Watch modding is one of the most contentious yet satisfying fields of horology, and GShock is no stranger to such controversies, especially when it comes to Casioak mods. But many of you, if not all of you, will agree that this is the very best Casioak mod you'll ever find, and this is brought to you by SKXMOD. If you have more spine than a Caribbean sea slug, you'll definitely check out the available mod kits for the ever so popular 2100 series from GShock. While many keyboard ninjas would readily call you a watch pirate for supporting fake watches, I have full trust in all of you that you know better. We're not faking the royal oak here. After all, only a Pacific Sea urchin would reason that this is a counterfeit AP. Those were some of the concerns with the previous version of SKX mod kits. On this clearly upgraded version, I'm sure the same sentiments will be echoed. But an upgrade is an upgrade if this grizzled watch pirate ever saw one. The new thinness is the biggest selling point for me with this new Generation 6 Casioak mod. The dimensions are noticeably thinner and leaner. This is something I would definitely welcome because, I have girly mermaid wrists. This mod offers much more than the stunning good looks and light play. It's comfortable and easy to work with because of all those articulate links. This cool black IP coated version imitates the ceramic royal oaks that's about a couple hundred times the price of this kit. For those who know, they'll really make a head turn to look at a second time. For those who don't know, well, it's a great piece to bring to the office. Here's how it compares against my first GM2100 mod, the Manhattan Project. You can clearly see how it's thinner compared to the stock bezel of the GM line. This new generation of Casio kits manages these proportions thanks to how SKXMOD designed the case. This is the closest to becoming a pirate watchmaker as I could be. With all of the tools for this kit, you'll know that we're talking serious business here. The box alone is sturdy and premium feeling. That's because everything is inside and organized for your building pleasure. It all begins with a comprehensive instruction manual that dives into the full details about the kit and the donor watch model you're about to dissect. It pays to check which model you're working with, as these have different case and module fittings. This is thoroughly reminded on the website as you order, so you have no excuse to buy the wrong case for your Casio. From here, you're given the instruction on how to disassemble the GShock so even first-timers can easily follow the process. We got a kit that features both the metal and rubber bracelet. This really multiplies the playability of the build. This also comes with a full set of containers and tools to ensure that you're equipped for the build right off the box. Every component comes in clean and sealed containers to minimize any foreign particles from contaminating your build. It's also exciting to see the different parts, such as this middle case in all its naked glory. Builders are always fascinated with how things are put together, and this shows a small glimpse of that. Underneath are all of the rest of the tools, including this leather mat where you can safely work on. They also provide the screwdrivers, hand removers, and these nifty case holders that will make your assembly infinitely hassle-free. These holders are also marked accordingly from A to Z. You also have the option to get this crystal press that will help you greatly for the GM2100 builds. The pucks are conveniently marked with these yellow markers, so even those choices are made for you. As a bonus, you get to keep the other puck sizes for your other watch builds and projects. Here's where the small details come to play. GShock builds their 2100 differently. For the GM line, you'll need to remove the crystal to access the chapter ring and rehout. Once the crystal is removed, the indexes are just loosely perched at the middle of the inner case. This is held in place by a plastic ring that also happens to hold the crystal firmly. Note how there are gaskets that you need to reinstall on the backplate. The module should remain intact, but you're free to change the hands and dial as well. Options that are sold separately, of course. Once everything is in place, it's time to begin the installation. The first step I started with is the rehout and index installation. There's an inner rubber seal and bezel gasket that you'll need to align. Use the case holders that conveniently keeps things in place and prevents you from touching the actual case. Included is the blower that prevents your filthy mouth from squirting saliva on the crystal. Use it generously, please. Once mounted, you can use the next holder to cover the case and flip it over. From here, you can proceed on fastening the bezel screws. Once that's put together, it's time to drop the module. Take care not to accidentally wedge the minute hands on one of the indexes. Place the rubber spacer that came with the GShock and then place the kit's case back. This one does not have the buzzer plate, but SKXMOD has long since included this on their case backs. Screw on the back plate and it's time to peel off the protective seals on the back and the crystal, something that watch lovers drink champagnes with while doing. The indexes are so close to the crystal now, a massive difference versus the original GM2100. Then the last piece is the bracelet, and this is as straightforward as an installation could be. Then the mod is complete. Follow all of the instructions and it would likely take you 15 or so minutes to get the full mod built. I have bought about 3 different AliExpress mods and tried 6 different kits from SKXMods. This is the ultimate in quality, build, complexity, and visual presentation. This beautiful shine is partly because of the scratch-resistant coating that makes it resistant for up to 950 Vickers. It also retains that versatility that the previous generations had. You can easily swap different colored straps using the long screw bars just over the lugs. It utilizes the new industry darling FKM rubber that's both super soft and supremely oil resistant. What really endeared me to this kit was the exceptional versatility of the dial. This setup uses the indexes of the silver GM2100 while the dial itself came from the blue model. SKXMOD also went above and beyond in the clasp department by using a really cool leaf spring build that RM popularized. This really elevates the premium feel of the kit. I bet too that they added more adjustment holes on this strap because of yours truly. This clasp can then be easily unscrewed and reinstalled on any other color strap that you have lying around. These beautiful straps from SKXMOD also comes with ample ring keepers that also held together by small slats, a little touch of practicality to a luxurious piece. Combined with the leaf spring clasp and this royal oak homage completes the look without being too ostentatious. But it does deliver some features that's above your typical low-end modification. However, as you can see, it will still look a bit too big on small wrists. Hey, let's not forget I'm wearing a GShock, okay? So I have a whole street culture to put the blame on. Back on the bracelet, it feels more relaxed and fits better as intended. With its vastly different aesthetic, it's hard to see this as a Casioak now, really. It looks more like an authentic royal oak chronograph. Fortunately, we have the opportunity to compare this to the actual real deal. When a person mentions the Casioak, they have a particular look in mind. It's not really a royal oak, but more in the line of a Casio with an AP bezel. Here, the lines are more blurred. This really captures the spirit of the self-winding royal oaks as it replicates the chamfers, crown, and pushers. It's a complete departure when it comes to the dial, but the rest is very close to its proportions. The royal oak that I have here is lent to us courtesy of Eric. This one's got a ton of mileage to it as it was worn as a daily piece. So for those who are wondering, a royal oak can be a beater watch even though it has the reputation of being a little fragile. This AP also has the older slider enclosure mechanism that omits the need for twin trigger pushers like what's found on this Casioak mod. I love this bracelet more as it's more elegant looking without those triggers on each side. It continues the line nicely from the case to the band. This Casioak mod, however, has a lot more secure enclosure so you can wear it with confidence. There's also a bit more presence to this newer generation case. With its wider lugs, narrower link chamfers, and heftier bracelet, it's a more masculine choice of the two. In this current form, without the benefit of a comparison, it stands as a pleasing homage with a different beating heart. The more that you look closer, the better you understand the level of quality and work that went into this mod. The bezel alone now has 2 different finishes, polish and matte. The subtle chamfer that's on the case extends down to the familiar bracelet. On this version, the pushers actually function as it activates the buttons of the module. The case is very nicely molded and milled. Its thin profile seamlessly continues to the band. Even when viewed from under the case, the quality is noticeable. The backplate itself has a sunburst surface, while the etchings contribute to a nice visual interest as it disrupts the shine. Operations are nice and crisp. The clasp shuts accordingly and opens on command. Functionality now also applies to the much criticized crown. You can unscrew it to reveal the hidden needle that you can use to push the left-sided buttons of the module. These are now accessed using these recessed buttons. Even if you slip a bit, you'll still see minimal scratching with a scratch-resistant coating. You can tell that this mod is a level above the rest. Now the price. At $325, this is about 3 times the price of your typical Casio kit. Despite such, I highly recommend getting this one as there's no other like it in the market. Yes, that is a price of a microbrand watch, but the experience of building this kit and the luxurious product that you'll end up with is truly worth the price of construction. There's a price at owning the best, and this is the most expensive Casioak mod that you'll ever find compared to its cheaper, more affordable competitors. But this really is the best when it comes to its proportions and that lustrous, scratch-resistant finish. Again, that's the Casioak Ultra from SKXMOD.